Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to read from Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. Okay, right here. And authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation was given to him. You see that clearly. This is clearly talking about a one world government. And authority over every tribe, which is all the tribes, and people, all the people, and tongue, all the languages of the world, and nation, all the nations, was given to him. That's clearly speaking of a global authority, a global leader. So I want to get into this. Okay, the Bible clearly teaches that in the last days there's going to be a rise in the formation of a one world government. But how is it possible? Because some people say, oh, they're not going to be able to get me. But these people thought of everything, okay? These people literally thought of every single thing. For them to have, because if you think about it, during the tribulation period, for people that are saying they're going to be able to hide and this and that, but they thought of it all. Because for them to have total control, they need total surveillance. So as the New World Order continues to approach us, you can expect to see more surveillance systems being set up everywhere. They even have special things on the buildings to say it's to listen to sounds, blah 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 blah. But we know they're the tracking and listening to everything. But anyways, so for total control, you need total surveillance. And the Bible clearly teaches that the Antichrist is going to have absolute control over everything on the planet. How can he do that? Because he's not omnipresent. He can't be everywhere at all times. So the only way that he can do it is through these surveillance systems, these surveillance cameras. So this whole entire population of the world will be under total surveillance. And this is literally amazing, ladies and gentlemen. They thought of everything. They literally thought of absolutely everything. Because there's a global surveillance system called Echelon. It's part of the European Union property. I think it's in London or somewhere. It does Canada, US, Australia, I think Britain, and New Zealand. They're listening to phone calls, emails, faxes, texts, you name it. I forget how many, maybe 3-something billion a day. Regardless of the language that it's in, and it's translated. It doesn't matter what language that it's in, it's translated. And plus this too. Because very soon, but that's the whole world that they're listening on. They're capturing conversations. They're snatching them from satellite from out of the air. But anyways, this too. Listen to this. They thought of absolutely everything. They're going to be posting up a light like on the street, like a pole, like a street light pole, that they're going to be able to talk to you. They say in time of an emergency, because so many people can't be there at the whatever. They try to make it all sound good, but it's not. They're going to say, emergency alert, emergency alert. And it's going to be able to count the people. They said they'll be able to listen to catch conversations, so they'll be able to stop crime. But this has nothing to do with it. For those that know about Big Brother, this is 1984, George Orwell, eat your heart out. Like, everything is here, ladies and gentlemen. And plus this too. They already have satellites watching people in London, garbage men that are doing their job, because they want to watch and see if they're not doing stuff that they should not be doing. And in other places, they're watching people with to see if they're not stealing trees. So they're watching people from satellite, from space. This is literally amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can actually go check it out when you have your free time. Go on the computer and type in live Earth cams. It's right into the live cams in real time. Like, I went to check it out because I was just freaking out when I saw this. Like, you can see New York City, Times Square, Australia, Japan, Miami, Florida, you name it. Like, just think about all this stuff that we have. And yet, all that you need is a tyrannical leader to come on the political scene to take advantage of all those things. And it's all going to come into that. And that's exactly what the Bible said was going to happen. And plus, what's the other thing? Yeah, they have a special radar gun. They can point at someone's house, and they can see right through the concrete, right into the house, and they can see where the person is in that house. Now, with that radar gun, they said they want to make it they're doing something by satellite. So they'll be able to check in by people's houses by satellite, see where they are in the room, if they're hiding in a closet or a bathroom or whatever. They'll be able to find them. Like, it's literally insane. Now they are bringing this all in by fear and manipulation about this one world government. Because now they're saying we have a food crisis. So now we need a global entity to control the world's food supply. Which they already do. The Bilderbergs do that, but they want to have total control over the food supply, that you're not going to be able to grow your own food. Okay? You're not going to be able to grow your own food. You're going to have to buy their food. And I was just talking to someone today, and it's really rolling out. They're really rolling out their plan, ladies and gentlemen, the New World Order's plan about Agenda 21. Because farmers are starting to get arrested for their own crops and their own food. You guys can check it out. That's why I say don't take my word for it. Do your own research, and you'll see this is where we are headed, towards a global government. So they want to control the world's food supply. Total control over the food. Now they're saying we have a water crisis. But I already knew about this anyway, and yet they're just coming out in the public now because they're already poisoning our water. There's fluoride in the water, but they were saying that there's, what's it called, antibiotics in the water and other stuff as well. So we need to come up with a global entity to control the water supply. Total control. And the United Nations already has the thing to be signed, to be approved, that will give them total control over the whole entire planet, over the whole entire world. They'll be able, they're saying, they'll be able to seize your private property. They'll be able to tell you what type of car you can drive and type of gas you can put in it, because they're trying to say we're fighting global warming, which is the biggest lie of all. It all has to do with global control. These are global climate control treaties. These have nothing to do with global warming. And what else? So this is where it's all heading, okay? And plus they're putting black boxes into the cars. They'll be able to track your every move. They actually said this. The reason for this is, if your car gets stolen, we'll be able to find it by satellite. Because you have a black box in your car, just like the planes do, we'll be able to find your car right away. But it's not. What these people are going for is power and control. That's all that it's about. They're putting satellite tracking devices in the cars. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to read this to you, and I want to explain it, because I'm not going to have enough time to explain. But for those of you that know, but for those of you that don't know, I want to read this to you so you guys aren't deceived. Revelation chapter 13. I'll start from 16 and on. Okay, and he causes all, the small and the great and the rich and the poor and the free man and the slaves, to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. And he provides that no one should be able to buy or to sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man whose number is 666. So you won't be able to buy or sell. And did you see that part? Wait, I want to go back to it. Revelation chapter... So I want to explain something here. Okay, Revelation chapter 13. Start from verse 16. And he caused all the small and the great and the rich and the poor and the free man and the slaves to be given a mark on their right hand. Okay, I want to get into this. Today, could we see people using body parts in buying things? Because, ladies and gentlemen, people are being conditioned for the mark of the beast. They are bringing in biometric technology. They're getting people's minds used to it. They're conditioning the people's minds, because they're already doing it, okay? Like, it's just crazy. Like, the new laptops that are going to be coming in, it's only going to work by palm scan. You're going to have to do a palm scan. And isn't it funny that it's the right hand? Isn't that significant? It's the right hand, ladies and gentlemen. And every person that got, like, people are willingly accepting microchips. Not everybody, but many are. Like right after 9/11 in 2004, the Verichip Corporation said this is for our security. And then that family that got microchips said, oh, this makes my family more secure. Yeah, right. Having a microchip implanted in you, it makes you more secure. See how people are being conditioned. And I've been realizing, because I've been listening, they said on the right layer of his arm, the right layer on his arm, the right arm up on the layer of his arm, the right arm. I've never seen anything yet that they said they had it in their left hand, or it's always on the right. It's exactly, the Bible is right on. And if you guys watched my previous video about what's it called? Yeah, biometrics is a stepping stone towards the mark of the beast, because it is. They're not going to stop there. This is total control, because they want to control society, and that's what they're doing. For them to have a surveillance society, they need our biometrics. So they said the governments of the world are going to be enforcing biometrics upon its people, and the purpose for this is to control its citizens, to track them, to link them, and to have them under total surveillance at all times. And if you get out of line, all they have to do is push one button and they freeze your account, and you cannot buy anything. It's crazy. But this is what's happening. They're bringing in biometrics. Like even kids already at the cafeterias in the school, they do a palm scanning. They scan their palm. And just starting this fall, if it's in Newtown, I don't know if it's Newtown, Connecticut, or Florida, or wherever it is, but they said the kids, starting this fall, going back to school, they're going to be scanning their eyes. Imagine, they're going to be scanning their eyes. So this is rolling out. Each state by state is going into biometrics. That's where the world is headed right now, is biometrics. India was the testing ground for a cashless society. 1.2 billion of its citizens has already gone into national ID cards under biometrics. And now other countries are going as well into biometrics. This is the globalist plan. Their plan is to have everybody on the earth have a global national ID card. But this must be resisted at all costs. But I want to say this too, because about the New World Order. This is the New World Order's control groups. They want to control over everything, absolutely everything, under their total control. But they said that, yeah, now they have an African Union, they have an Asian Union, they have a European, because the European Union was the beginning of the New World Order. Okay, first they needed to unite the European countries before they can get the New World Order up and running. So now what they're doing is they're uniting each country step by step, because the European Union's there. And then they created an African Union, an Asian Union. Now what is underway is a North American Union, where Canada, US, and Mexico emerge into one super country, where we share the same currency, just like Europe. And what they're going to do is, with the African Union, with the Asian Union, with the European Union, and with the North American Union, they're all going to unite them into one, and we're all going to become some global entity, a global government. That's what they're going to do. They're going to replace nation states with the global government. That's what they're bringing down, and they already have the NAFTA superhighway under construction. You guys can check it out. They already have it going. This is for real. This is what's going on, and so many other things. And this too, Mike Frost, he was a former NSA. He said, be careful what you say on the phone, because there was this girl talking to her friend, because she went to see her son at a school play. She's like, oh man, he really bombed it. Because she used that word bomb, she became on a high terrorist list. Terrorist list. That if she were to use that again in the past, she can be on a high thing to be watched on, and she's a terrorist. So they have the keywords. It was sent to an analyst desk, and they analyzed it. So they imagine in the future, because there's no escaping this, even your cell phone spy on you and everything. So imagine if they change those keywords to Jesus. So if someone picks up the phone and talks to someone and says, Jesus, talk to them about Jesus, that's going to be a keyword, and that's how they're going to track them and label them down. Like, there's no escaping this. Like, what's his name? Eisenhower? Yeah, Eisenhower warned us about the military industrial. This is what they're doing. We're going into military dictatorship. He warned us about this. Eisenhower, military industrial. This is what they're doing. They're getting the military, and this is what they're doing. And so, this is all I got to say. This is what's coming down the line right now. So, not if, but when, because biometrics is coming. But for my brothers and sisters in Christ, be ready to meet the Lord, because Jesus Christ is coming back indeed any second, any moment. All the signs are right before us, especially everything that's happening in the Middle East right now with Egypt, Israel, all the stuff that's going on. So just be ready to meet the Lord, because Jesus is indeed coming very soon. And we got to be ready, live ready, stay ready, and keep looking up. Our King is coming, and this is all I got to say, and God bless you.